Well, this is not just any other summer season. It's a warning siren, and it's blaring when 95 of the world's hottest cities are in one country alone. The climate isn't changing, it's collapsing, and so is our preparedness for it. So we aren't just talking about a seasonal change or a typical Indian summer. We're talking about a national emergency that is unfolding right outside your window. At this very moment, India has become the furnace of the world. At least that's what reports and statistics tell us. The statistics are not just alarming, they're historic in a sense. The statistics are not just historic, they're blaring out at you, because out of the 100 hottest cities on the entire planet right now, 98 of them are right here in India. And from the plains of Vidarbha and the deserts of Rajasthan to the coasts of Odisha and Gujarat, the mercury is consistently shattering the 40-degree mark, with many regions now gasping at nearly 45 degrees Celsius. Even the mountains, our traditional escape from the heat, they're no longer safe. Heatwave alerts have been issued for Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh. The cooling relief we used to expect at night is disappearing as warm nights are becoming the new norm, leaving our bodies and our infrastructure no time to recover from it. Several factors are driving this extreme heat. Climate change is certainly the main reason. Rising greenhouse gases are making heat waves more frequent, more intense. In cities, the urban heat island effect is adding to the problem because of concrete, less greenery, and the waste heat. Weak western disturbances mean fewer rain systems. And so clear skies allow the land to heat up without relief. And high pressure systems known as the heat domes, they're trapping hot air near the ground. Dry winds and delayed pre-monsoon activity are also speeding up the heating of the land at large. And this is not just a one-time event. It is part of a long-term warning and a trend that has been accelerating since the 1980s. 10 of the last 15 years have been among the hottest on record globally. The India Met Department has already warned that above normal heat wave days are likely from April to June this year. Warm nights are increasing across the country, which means even less relief from the heat. Scientific models show that heat waves will become longer, they will become hotter, more frequent in the coming years. The number of heat wave days could double, and new hotspots are emerging as well. So what can India do to deal with this growing challenge? The country needs to cut emissions quickly, needless to say, by shifting to renewable energy, improving energy efficiency, and moving towards net zero goals. At the same time, we must adapt to the changing climate. This includes stronger heat action plans with early warnings, cooling centers, and better protection for workers. Urban greening, better water management, and heat-resilient buildings can also help. Global cooperation and climate finance will be important for faster action as well. An esteemed set of panelists with us on the broadcast, and the big questions that we're trying to understand. Is this extreme heat wave just a temporary phase, or is it becoming India's new normal? How well are our cities and villages prepared to handle longer and hotter heat waves in the future? And can India balance rapid economic growth with the urgent need to cut greenhouse gas emissions? And much more. Dr. K.J. Ramesh, former DG, IMD, with us on the broadcast, and Padma Shri, Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, Chairman, Nephron Clinic, with us also on the broadcast. You know what, Dr. Ramesh, let's get the snowball rolling here. Every summer is hot. That's why it's called the summer season. But 95 plus of the world's hottest cities in one country, in India, our backyard. How abnormal is this scientifically? What do you have to say about this particular report? Are we looking at a temporary spike that is driven by weather systems, the super El Nino that people are now talking about, or this is a structural shift in India's climate baseline that we now need to come to terms with?
It is actually on two factors that are contributing to the present hot weather period, enhancing and longer hot weather conditions. One is the global warming, greenhouse gas emissions.
Yeah.
That. Second one is our city developmental planning and expansion of expressways, highways, where whatever forests we had there, we are cutting them, and the surface is exposed to bitumen and other things, so that is adding extra heat all along the expressways. In cities, urban heat island effects, and the poor water management and water preservation, recharge options of the city lakes, and ignoring totally the solid waste and sewage treatment processes in our country. So there are multiple factors which are contributing to the warming.
Right on, Doctor. Dr. Bagai, what's your assessment of this? I mean, of course, I do need, some tips, some, techniques that people can now use. We keep hearing about heat stroke all the time. But what are the early warning signs that people tend to ignore because before things actually turn fatal? Your assessment and reading of, this particular report, and with temperatures now crossing 40 to 45 degrees Celsius, it seems to be the new normal. How dangerous is prolonged exposure, especially for, outdoor workers, or even if not for those outdoor workers, if you're stuck outside somewhere? Is that something that people now need to be worried about?
Good evening. I think this is the price humans pay for tampering with nature. Then nature destroys you. It's a vicious cycle of deforestation, destroying of the Aravalli Hills, rampant tree cutting in the hills, the nearby hill stations, rampant illegal felling of trees within Delhi and NCR. Not one but numerous cases are there. But coming to the topic of the net effect, is this a part of the global warming? Yes. But what Delhi is experiencing is, and completely unexpected, I would say, exponential rise of temperature. So we had rains, which was unseasonal, very high relative humidity, and now this sudden heat wave. So an exposure, even for 30 minutes to 60 minutes, especially at the peak of the summer, which is between 12 and 2 or 12 and 3 p.m. in the afternoon, can be very, very lethal. So initially, a human being's body, when it's exposed to such unforeseen heat, goes through what we call as a heat stress. Then it turns into heat cramps. That means your muscles starts getting twitching, you feel numbness, you have headache, nausea, vomiting, your blood pressure fluctuation takes place. Then it's heat exposure, in which you have nausea, vomiting, you have dehydration. Then is what we call as heat stroke. That's when the temperature of the body goes more than 104 degrees Fahrenheit, in which you can have an effect on the kidneys, you stop passing urine, you can have seizures, altered sensorium, unconsciousness, and then of course is heat shock, which is the worst stage. The most vulnerable are the children who have limited body reserves in terms of fluids, less than the age of 5, elderlies beyond 65, because then your body is compromised, and then of course people who have comorbidities like heart disease, lung disease, COPD, asthma, immunocompromised, diabetics, obese, and so on. So I think we need a very, very firm message going out as a public awareness to tell people what the do's and don'ts are, what time you should avoid going out, what simple measures to take to combat this kind of...
Absolutely, Doctor. Many thanks for detailing all of that out. So body fluid reserves is something that everybody can actually work on here. We're now seeing a phenomenon of warm nights. Lack of cooling at night can also increase cardiac and neurological risks, just like you pointed out as well. And, Dr. Ramesh, when we're talking about this aspect of nights not cooling anymore, the nights are not cooling anymore. That's actually equally important. How dangerous is that compared to the daytime heat? We know daytime it's almost like sizzling outside, but the nighttime is not having that cooling effect that we need at the moment.
See, this is what is projected to happen at least 5 to 7 years before by IPCC. AR6 reports are there. Temperature difference between maximum and minimum, day and night temperature, which is becoming lesser and lesser. So that will extend the heat stress duration out of 24 hours to more than 16 hours in a particular day, when day temperatures reach 45 and minimum temperatures reach 35. That's what is happening over Northwest India currently. This is what is the most catastrophic thing, particularly people who are in unorganized housing clusters like Juggi Jopdi, where asbestos sheets and tin roof houses are there. They are the people undergoing and exposed to more heat stress and associated mortalities and morbidities.
Dr. Ramesh, is this the new normal going forward?
It will increase incrementally year after year if we are not taking any corrective steps. Corrective steps are possible. creating cool places in the clusters which Tamil Nadu, Chennai has shown for gig workers and others who then do not have cool places in their living environment. In winter, we used to have something like night side baratis, or what you call it in Delhi, no, something where hot blankets and other things are provided for the people, homeless people.
Yeah, yeah.
And that kind of arrangement for summer has to be planned.
Okay, okay. We keep talking about global solutions, but I'll come back to you, Dr. Ramesh, for some immediate India-specific steps. One of them that you outlined and detailed over here. Dr. Bagai, you know, for the typical Indian daily diet, what are some, you know, alterations that can take place? What are some substitutes? You earlier spoke about the body fluid reserves in extreme heat. What should a typical Indian daily diet now look like? We hear about ORS, we hear about our lemonade, nimbu pani, buttermilk. What actually does work best? Are people unknowingly eating foods that increase body heat as well?
That's a very important question. So it's a long time saying that gut is your second brain. So like your heat is affecting all other parts of the body, what you eat in terms of protein, fats, carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals, trace elements impacts your overall body metabolism. Your body metabolism controls your organs. It's a very, very simple logistic. The things to avoid, especially in this peak of summer, is very deep fried food, what we call as trans fats. Avoid ultra processed foods because those are inflammatory to the gut. It destroys your gut membrane, and it affects all other body organs. It releases toxins. Avoid too much of sweets because that's high calorigenic and it retains a lot of toxins. Fluid intake is extremely important. For children, it is calculated with regards ml per body weight, but normally adults require about 2.5 to 2.75 liters of fluid. But having said that, the important thing is also to replenish electrolytes. The simplest thing at home without complicating things is chutki bhar namak, ek chamach chini in a large glass of water and keep sipping it. You can either have a nimbu pani, you can have buttermilk, and so on. Aerated drinks are the worst which you can do to quench your thirst because what they do is they cause further internal dehydration. Energy drinks, which is high carbohydrate and high sugar drinks, is even worse because it shrinks your cells in your brain. And worst of all is commercial ORSs should be avoided, especially if they are not scientifically made. Any oral rehydration solution must meet the norms of WHO. If the salt content is too high or the sugar content is too high, it causes osmolar pull into the kidneys. That means your kidneys can get damaged. Simple remedies, home solutions work the best. Adequate hydration is the key. Less exposure outside is the key. Don't wear dark colored clothes because it retains heat. Try to wear a sun hat or a cap. In India, that's not a norm, but I think we should get used to it. And definitely put on sunscreen. We don't realize the impact of long-term exposure, and a lot of countries have suffered because of that. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these kind of messages must come out.
Doctor, you earlier spoke about public service announcements. Let's go one step further, of course, for all the viewers that are watching this, but a lot of my colleagues over here, and if people are watching this in the newsroom as well, you know, going for that Diet Coke, going for those caffeinated cold coffees, that's also a big no-no. I'm picking up from where you left us. Caffeine, cold drinks, those energy drinks. I mean, Red Bull is not the solution in this heat. They actually end up dehydrating you more. Is that true?
Yeah, absolutely. What these very high content of sugary drinks do is they pull a lot of fluid out into your gut. So in fact, it's more detrimental. It's doing more harm than good. More importantly, these are neurotoxins. That means it affects your brain function, and long-term use of this, apart from dehydration and heat exposure, is also impacting issues like early onset dementia, attention deficit, anxiety, and so on. So energy drinks especially should be avoided. Alcohol is something which you should avoid because it's something which actually dehydrates you, any form of alcohol, and keep yourself on routine medication if you have comorbidities. don't stop those medicines.
All right. Dr. Ramesh, we spoke about how if this trend continues, this is certainly going to be impacting the country's economy, the jobs, the productivity, the growth as well. But you gave us, a little tip that could be followed by, the government, how they could be doing a little bit more. We keep talking about global solutions. What are immediate India-specific steps that can actually make summers survivable in these oven-like cities of ours?
See, India-specific things are create more cooler places with safe drinking water availability at every corner, most of the as much as possible within the cities, roads, and then advise people not to come out between 11 o'clock to 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Exposure got to be minimized. Even in Bangalore, where I am staying now, this season, shops are closed at 11 o'clock. Can you imagine? After 11 o'clock, no customer is coming in major markets. Shops are getting closed from 11 to 4. So that things have to be repositioned themselves and then minimize the exposure. And at the same time, we will have to regenerate natural water resources, local tanks and other things. We have to revive them. So if water is available in those tanks in the rainy season, collected and preserved for until the next monsoon season, that can reduce the day temperatures significantly by 1 to 2 degrees, apart from the afforestation, urban afforestation, etc.
Fair enough. Dr. Ramesh, any update, any news of any kind of thunderstorms, rainfall in the northern half of the country in the coming days? That would certainly help the situation.
Already Northwest India started having thunderstorms. Delhi surrounding NCR also thunderstorms are experienced.
Okay.
That will be a day affair, and that will give you respite for a couple of days. Slowly those thunderstorms from the western disturbances will be moving towards east. And another side, northeast is already getting regular thunderstorms, Bengal, Bangladesh, northeast. And new wave of thunderstorms will be developing all along the east coast of India, all coastal states in coming days. So that will reduce the warming, at least in the coastal states.
So that's the silver lining here. I think we'll leave it there. Gentlemen, both the doctors, you've really helped us out, helping us, with the tips, the simple practices that one can actually make use of. Summer is clearly not the story here. The system is the story here. And if this is the new normal, I think we all should be asking ourselves whether we're prepared to live in it. The simple home remedies that the doctor was talking about, and the silver lining that in the days to come, of course, there's going to be some more rainfall. Let's hope that good sense prevails. On that note, Dr. Ramesh, Dr. Bagai, always a pleasure to have you with us on News 9. All right then, that's all the time we have for you in this edition of In Your Interest. We're going to catch you again tomorrow. Many thanks for watching.
हमारे जवानों के कदम कभी न रुके, सिर्फ इसीलिए कहीं एक मजबूत पुल बना है। देश के नंबर 1 सीमेंट अल्ट्राटेक में हम मानते हैं, इंडिया बनता रहेगा तो आगे बढ़ता रहेगा। अल्ट्राटेक सीमेंट बनेगा तो बढ़ेगा इंडिया।
Walk down Cool Street.
When you're hot, we'll cool you down on Cool Street. On Cool Street. On Cool Street. Ooh, I'm cool. Chill your thrill. I'm cool. Chill your thrill.
I'm cool. Chill your dill.